My name is Neal Gist. I'm running for U.S. Congress, Missouri's 4th District. Around the time that the Tea Party rose to prominence, our debt was $10 trillion. And I thought, this is it. Fiscal conservatism will finally have its day. Of course, nothing happened. Then in 2016, we won the presidency. We took control of the Senate, the House, and the majority governorship. And I thought, the iron is hot. Now's the time. But as you know, not a lot happened other than the continued raising of our debt ceiling and its eventual removal. Just 1 decade since the Tea Party movement, and our national debt has more than doubled. And Republican leadership in Congress is no longer talking about it. Of course they're not. Why would our representatives who we elected to rein in out-of-control government spending bring any attention to this catastrophic failure? History has not been kind to world powers that spent beyond their means, but never before has a global economy been so interconnected and so dependent upon one single nation. With $23 trillion of debt and $1 trillion of an annual spending deficit, we only have one real option: bold, uncompromising cuts across the board. The vast majority of our federal government spends its money in 4 sectors: Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the military. It is the perfect storm for bipartisan recklessness. The reciprocal self-destruction goes. Democrats get their welfare state, Republicans get their military occupations. Everybody wins, or loses in this case. Destitution is not exclusive to failed socialist states. The underlying central economics that perpetuate disaster, as demonstrated in Zimbabwe, in Venezuela, and the Soviet Union, are merely expedited under Marxism. Should we continue to spend beyond our means, our trajectory is no different. Whether it's hyperinflation, currency rejection, depressions, or, God forbid, a total economic collapse, the market corrections will come. Uniting the parties to make massive cuts across the board in order to restore fiscal sanity is the only way to ensure and preserve America's position as the prominent world power. I'd like to defer to the eloquence of our founding fathers to plead my case. In George Washington's farewell address, he said, "One method of preserving our credit is to cultivate peace, avoiding the accumulation of debt by shunning expense, not ungenerously throwing upon posterity the burden which we ourselves ought to bear." What he's saying is that debt today is paid for on the backs of our children tomorrow, and that the remedy is to avoid unnecessary wars. In 1798, Thomas Jefferson writes, "I wish it were possible to obtain one single amendment to our Constitution. I mean just one additional article taking from the federal government the power of borrowing. Amen. I know that to pay all proper expenses would, in cases of war, be hard on us, but not so hard as 10 wars instead of 1, for wars would be reduced in that proportion." Republicans have a rich history of fiscal prudence. All we have to do is assume accountability for the state of our finances right now and follow the Constitution. I stand before you today to declare my steadfast resolve to not only balance our budget, but to pay off our debt. I love America. I cherish the unprecedented freedom and prosperity that we have right now. It is something that I want my future children to experience as well. I'm running for office because I can no longer afford to put my faith in politicians who continually fail in their oaths to defend the Constitution. Thankfully, restoring fiscal order is nothing to the Lord my God who created everything. And my faith is in Him, and I look forward to serving Him and serving you. My name is Neal Gist. I'm a software engineer. I'd love to talk to you guys about anything tonight if you're interested in learning more about my positions, my background. You can also check out my website, gist2020.com, or join the campaign there if you're interested. Thank you so much for your time. Good night.
My name is Neal Gist, candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, Missouri's 4th District, and I approve this video.